Don't you hesitate.
What's up, y'all? I'm Coach Ra,
And I'm Coach D.
and this is
Breakfast with the Bullocks. Unity.
Unity it is. So, I looked up the word unity, and Google told me it's the state of being united or joined as a whole. So, what I'd like to ask is, we know that definition of it, but even without that definition, what does unity mean to us?
To me, definitely unity means becoming one, moving together, and being in the same belief system. I think that's really important when it comes to unity because it's hard to be unified if you don't have the same beliefs as someone else. It's a lot easier to disband.
Yeah, I agree too about what you're saying because when it comes to unity, what I think of most is like a community in a lot of ways, where it's so many different types of people. You know, maybe their backgrounds are different. Sometimes I feel like even their, ways of thinking may be a little different from each other, but they do come together as one for one common goal. So whenever I think about unity, I think about community being like that, to where so many different people can still come together when it's necessary and be of the same mind. Kind of like how it was after 9/11. I remember seeing on the TV, they had so many people walking from Manhattan side to Brooklyn side using the Brooklyn Bridge, and people of all different colors together were just looking like a sea of people going across the bridge with no issues. So even though a disaster like that made people kind of be on one accord, which was just, let's just get back to Brooklyn, let's get home to our families. I think if we could be more like that in everyday life, the country and the world in general would be in much better shape. But that's what I think of with unity, because people can just, unite over so many different things.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to ask, just like we touched on a little bit, what we think unity is. But since we know what Google's definition was, what my definition was, what your definition was, do you feel like there is unity here in America?
Definitely not. I think there is unity, but between different groups of people. So because this group is unified, this group is unified, then it kind of creates just chaos. So people do come together in the community, but there's just so many different ideas and beliefs, and it just really separates those particular groups.
Yeah. That's a good point, because here in America, I don't see that much unity, when it comes to the fact that we all are um, thinking of ourselves as residents here, whatever you feel would make you a resident of the U.S. You're here, you're doing what you have to do, you're here with your family and loved ones and your friends. But when it comes down to it, I don't see much unity outside of how we view ourselves and our friends and family. I feel like it would be much better if we could all be unified under the fact that we are all here in this country together.
I mean, I would even go beyond that and just we're all human. Like, because then it's easy to be like, oh, yeah, like people in Mexico, don't let them over the border, or people in Europe, don't let them come over here, or whatnot. Like, we're all human, and nobody owns this land, nobody owns this earth, but somehow we were all able to say, oh, yeah, I own this and you own that, and get off my property. Like, but this is not really ours to take. The earth is for everybody. Like, we should be able to share and coexist, you know, and unify ourselves across the board, you know? That's how I feel.
Yeah, that's a very good point, actually, because we should feel like we are all part of the human race, because that's just the fact of it, you know?
Yeah.
All living things.
We're one
we should-
species and we really separate ourselves. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Yeah.
cut you off.
It's all right. But yeah, we should be able to feel that way about each other and every living thing, you know? Unfortunately, we don't really feel that way all the time. And sometimes it's all around us how different we are, you know? And we don't always get a chance to realize that our differences can still enable us to even relate to each other, that we can unify.
Yeah.
Sometimes we could become united based off of our differences, you know? Like think about the Avengers and things like that. All the different superheroes,
Are able to work together.
they able to work together.
Their
They all
strengths.
got different powers. They all, you know, have their different cities that they're fighting for when you dig deeper into who their characters are. But then when Thanos come, when one big threat comes, they all realize, oh no, we gotta fight together and we can
Yeah.
fight together. So I think that's how we should look at things, basically like a comic book. So let's think about ourselves like we are all superheroes in a comic book world, so that we
Yeah,
can
but there's
realize-
always this super villains.
Yeah,
So that's
That's
basically
true.
just how it is.
yeah, but guess what though? If there are supervillains, there need to be superheroes who are strong enough and willing to stand up.
Yeah, but the supervillains probably think they're right.
They probably do.
So the superheroes, or whoever they are, they think like, oh, I'm right, I'm serving justice, but the villains think they're doing the right thing for them or the other villains.
But you know what? That's the good point. However, just to pick your brain a little bit, if you have someone on one side who feels that unity is the key and is trying to get everybody to be together and on one accord, and then you have somebody else on the other side who feels like, no, we don't really need unity.
Mm.
Everybody needs to be separate but equal. Then how would you feel about that?
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like everyone's entitled to their own opinion and their own beliefs. Like, I'm not gonna knock someone else's belief. Like, just depending on what it is, like, you can go do that over there. Depending on what it is. Because if someone says, yeah, I need to go kill everyone, yeah, maybe I don't agree with that belief.
Yeah, not at all.
so
Not at all.
much.
We don't condone that.
But you can go do that over there or locked up in jail.
Yeah.
In your own mind, you can do that. You just don't bring that
Certainly.
over here.
Certainly, you can do that in your mind, because the mind is so powerful, and in our minds, a lot of times is where we, figure out who we want to commune with and be united with, and who we don't. So yeah, the mind is very, very powerful with situations like this. So, like you just said, I'll go more into that. Do you feel that it's possible for everybody to unite? Because like you said, everybody has so many different ideas, and if someone is a separatist, they may not change their mind overnight or at any point. So since we know we do have certain people that feel that unity is best, and certain people over here may feel like unity is garbage and is wrong and we don't want it, right? Do you feel it'll ever actually come to fruition where the whole country, the whole world could ever truly be unified under the banner of the human race?
I don't think so. I mean, as humans, we just tend to look for something to separate us. Like, it's from everywhere, obviously, from black and white to, like, what clothes you're wearing versus what clothes I'm wearing. People are always going to find something to set them apart or set someone else apart. Like, oh, I'm better than you because I have curly hair. Like, oh, I'm better than you because I have lighter skin. Like, people are always going to find stuff to separate themselves. Whether it's appearance, beliefs. I don't think it's ever going to be that we're completely unified, but I don't think that means we should stop trying. Like, I think it's really important to try and educate people as much as possible on like when it comes to Black Lives Matter. Like, it's not okay, we're against white people or we're against Asian people. Like, Black Lives Matter is like, our lives matter too, right?
Yeah.
So
Because so many times it seems like Black lives weren't mattering.
exactly.
You know? So that statement had to be made because it seems so clear that the lives of Black people, weren't being, cared for.
Yeah.
Considered.
So all that to say, like, I think it's really important to keep trying to educate people as much as possible. Like, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are unaware of the disparity and they're just thinking like, oh, why are Black people and their allies causing this ruckus? Because they don't realize the disparity when it comes to opportunities, when it comes to the education system, people's upbringings.
Yeah, definitely. It is a lot of separation. And for me, I don't think that there will ever be true unity in the whole world, because there's so many people having so many different opinions about things that are so important. But I really wish it could be. And one of the reasons why I was saying if there would be unity in America, I started off just with our country, because I feel like sometimes you got to start at home first, then we can branch out. Sometimes that makes it a little easier if people work on their own house before trying to work on their neighbor's house. But yeah, sadly, I don't think it'll ever be true unity among everybody in the world.
So you said sadly, so you think it should be unity amongst everybody?
Yeah, I think it should be, because that would make life a more enjoyable experience for everybody. And unity can also bring about, the issue of respect.
Yeah.
Sometimes people feel like I can't unify with these people because I don't care for them. I don't respect them. But if we all could develop more respect for each other's culture and each other's beliefs, then I think the unity would be more attainable.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, think about how sometimes in war, countries had to unify, like the superpowers against Germany. You know what I'm saying? That don't mean that we have to really live among each other, but we should know that if hard times come, we can unify just enough that we'll have each other's backs. We don't really have to just live among each other, but we can just know that since we are here on earth as human beings, that when something does happen, we can be there for each other. We should be unified enough as people in our minds that there should never have to be a term refugee. Because it's just like, all right, well, you're from a neighboring country. Something crazy happened over there.
Yeah.
Normally, we not together and seeing each other and living in close quarters. But because this thing happened, whatever it was or whatever it is, because that happened, we unified in our minds enough, in our hearts enough, that we can accept you for however long you got to be here until you can get yourself back right. So I feel like we don't even have to just be so close to each other, but having the respect enough for each other as human beings that we can unify to help fix the situation. But yeah, sadly, like I said, I don't really see that ever happening, but one could hope.
Yeah, so talking about the refugees, that really just comes back to like us creating those barriers amongst ourselves, dividing up the land. Definitely part of it has to do with the language differences, the cultural differences, but aside from that, we just look at people who are different or people from different countries and say, oh, they don't belong here, right? So we're doing you a favor by accepting you here, but that's not how it should be, because again, we don't really own this land. Like, people think, or we think that we do, but we don't. We don't have any authority over other people or over places. It's really just we're living here. Like, we were talking with a friend the other day about how humans are kind of parasites. We just are here and we're creating all this garbage and we're just taking all of the, the land, we're cutting the trees down, we're eating up all the food, which obviously we need, but we're consuming a lot more than we are replenishing. So we're not really helping this planet. We're just making it a big pile of garbage and destroying it.
And that's unfortunate because, it's not even a symbiotic relationship at all where the earth is benefiting us and we benefiting the earth. Like you said, we're kind of hurting the earth more than we're able to help it. So that's unfortunate because even with the food, like you pointed out, if we were eating up the food like we are, the earth would somehow provide it back for us. You know what I'm saying? Because we would till the ground and make sure everything's growing back up again. So if it was more of an exchange of the earth helping us and us helping the earth, it surely would be better.
And that even comes back to unity too. Like, everyone has different ideas about global warming and how we're destroying the planet in other ways. But not everyone's on the same page with that.
Yeah.
So some people are like, oh no, we're not ruining the planet. The planet's going to be fine. And then others are like, no, this planet's not going to last very long the way we're going now. So we can't even unify over this planet that we live on.
And sometimes we can't unify over certain issues. Like, I gotta be honest, even some years ago, I didn't really realize how some of the things that I was doing wasn't the best for the planet, And I'm still not all the way there yet with it, but I do see more of a need for us to protect the planet as much as possible and do our part while we're here.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if everybody's going to make it to Mars or not.
To Mars? I'd rather not.
You'd rather not go to Mars?
I'd rather not go to
What
Mars.
about no unity on Mars then? What's going on?
Nah. I'm going to just stay here.
You going to stay?
Wait, you going to go?
I mean, nah, I'm going to stay here too. However, I think it would be cool for people to go and, see if it's possible.
I mean, honestly, I'm probably one of those people, who knows when the time actually comes, but I feel like I'm one of those people who, I'm ready to go when my time is, So whether that's the Earth is ending, everyone's going to Mars, nah, I'm gonna just stay here and go when I'm ready to go, go when the Earth says, all right, bye, sister.
Well, if the Earth say bye, it's gonna be bye for everybody. If the Earth just close on itself, you know what I'm saying? But
I'm not trying to do all this craziness. I'm that type of person. I lived a good life. I know I'm still young and I have more to live, but
so much more.
I just feel like I'm not gonna try and go and live on Mars because that probably means more than wearing a mask the rest of your life, which people are already complaining about.
Getting sick of.
Probably wearing a whole bodysuit or at least a whole oxygen suit and living indoors because it's way too hot. So even if they did get a good setup to live on Mars, you have to be indoors for the rest of your life. Nah, I'm not about that. I'm not.
I feel like we gotta keep fighting to the very end. If going to Mars is what it
But we know we're gonna die anyway.
We don't know we're gonna die anyway.
You're gonna live forever.
All I'm saying is, the same way that unity seems like it's impossible, we can still strive for it while we're here. The same way, living forever is impossible. However, I'm gonna do all that I can to live forever and ever. So we the same way we striving for life forever, or I am, the same way we can strive for unity.
I mean, I feel like one of the biggest truths in life is knowing that we're all going to die.
That is a truth. That is a truth.
You're in denial.
No.
No, you're going to fight for your life as long as
Yes,
you
exactly.
can.
You get me.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try to live as long as I possibly can, So, we'll see. You know what I'm saying? But definitely going to try to live as long as I can. And I ain't going to let you just go out I lived a good life. I'm not
gonna just whimper and crawl into a ball or something, but I'm not I don't feel like I need to do all this extra stuff that Like, I don't know.
So you don't feel like you need to change planets
No.
in order
I don't think-
to keep living life?
No. I don't think I need to change. I don't really want to change planets. I'm good. There's enough to see on this earth and enough to live on this earth, and if there's not, then I'm good.
Well, you know, I know we're still on the topic of unity, but it stuck in my mind because you just were saying about the planets and stuff like that, and how you wouldn't want to go to Mars because it would be too hard to live out there. So we also talking about the quality of life.
Okay, yeah.
So now you wouldn't want to go to Mars because the quality of life would be so low. What are some things that you think can help the quality of life here in this planet? So along with unity, along with us protecting the planet, what are some other things that we could reach for to help the quality of living be better here?
I mean, you said aside from helping fix the environment and Earth,
aside from that and aside from unity.
I would say our health. Working on our individual health and trying to help others with their health as much as possible, because you're not going to have a quality life if people, develop diabetes, or maybe they become obese and then they have health complications because of that. Maybe their heart isn't as strong as it could be. So I think we can start with, like getting our own health better and then helping others. Maybe even just educating others on how they can help their own health. Even just eating right can be a big change for some people. Maybe people have like super high cholesterol and they're just consuming loads of fats and bad cholesterol and a lot of sodas and sugars. So yeah, I think that can definitely improve the quality of life. Also, working out more can help with back pain, and it can help release emotions that we're holding, like yoga can help release emotions that we're holding on in our bodies. So somebody might have like some terrible back pain or shoulder pain, not realizing they're holding on to a personal trauma or some type of emotional scarring, and yoga or working out can actually help you with the pain, help you get rid of the pain. Maybe I'm not saying that you work out and magically you'll be better. Some people may need medication. Definitely visit a doctor. I'm not telling you just work out. Visit a doctor. Make sure you get professional counseling for whatever is ailing. But I do sincerely think that eating better, working out, and stretching your body, just moving, even if it's just walking, could really improve the quality of life here on Earth.
Here on Earth, for sure. Yeah, so, I mean, for me, aside from unity and trying to protect the planet, I just feel like, and this is actually going to come back to unity, the way that we treat each other will really, really help. Because, again, like I said, if we even had more just respect, overall respect for each other, I think the world would be in a much better place, because you want to look out for your fellow man, your fellow sister, your brother, or whatever, you may feel that your neighbors and people in this world are to you.
Yeah.
With more respect, I feel like we could turn that around into someday to be from respect into caring. So just better relationships and how we deal with each other in the public and things like that. So that's what I would say. And
some of that can even stem from taking care of yourself too. Like if you don't take care of your own mental and emotional health, you might be a lot quicker to snap at somebody when you leave the house. I know that's happened to me. I also know, like, if you don't have the right vitamins in your system, or if you're eating foods, like if you're eating certain foods, that can really like alter your mood, how you're feeling. So that's going to affect how you're reacting to yourself, how you feel inside your own body, and then how you're going to go out into the world and react to other people around you.
That's very true. And also the lack of certain foods. Like, I know if I ain't have my Hershey bar, then I'm going to be upset. So certain foods can make you be angry, and the lack of certain foods can make you be angry too.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. Even if it's just carbs, if you're not getting enough carbs, maybe you'll be real crabby, or maybe you'll be real lethargic. So
it's so crazy. Without them carbs, you don't even got the energy to be, you know what I'm saying, like embracing nobody else. You get so upset and
hangry.
over here looking hangry, looking like Lurch or something like that. So yeah, I feel you on that one.
Yeah, but definitely getting your own health better. Educating yourself, treating others better as much as you can. Like, that phrase, when we were little, you always heard, treat others how you would like to be treated. Yeah. I loved that phrase. I was like, yeah, because it's true. Like, would you want someone to be yelling at you? No. Yeah. Would you? No.
I mean, I'm saying yes to what you're saying because it makes me think about my own childhood and how everything seemed possible. At what point does it happen that we lose that? So where it's like, we grow up thinking, I could be anything I want to be.
Yeah.
I know when I came up in school, I used to go to school in Bushwick, and
Brooklyn.
It was very Brooklyn all day, but it was kind of like a diverse group of kids, and I know I didn't see them as different. I felt like we were all unified because we were classmates, even in my young mind. At what point was it that I got older and was just like, this person is different from me? Even on the smallest level.
Yeah.
I can honestly say I don't, hate people, but at the same time, I do realize that when somebody is walking toward me, I'm seeing like, this is a person. Maybe they're Asian, maybe they're Puerto Rican. At what point did that even come into my mind? Like, how did that happen to me? Did society just do that to my brain?
I mean, I feel like it's kind of natural to notice those differences. Like, I feel like a lot of how we react is going to be from our upbringing. But I think it's just natural to be like, that person looks a little different from me. Like, our brains just are wired to notice those differences. But, like I just said, if somebody instilled that hate in you as a kid, like, we don't like people that look this way, then you're going to look and be like, I don't like that person.
Right.
As opposed to if someone said, treat people how you want to be treated, and that goes for everybody, then you're not going to be like, I hate that person just because how they look or, whatever.
Yeah. And that's really unfortunate because we do have so many situations, unfortunately, in today's world where it's people being hurt and worse, killed because of them being Asian, Black, or just being different than somebody else who is carrying around so much hatred.
Yeah.
We have the Black Lives Matter movement, and now so many attacks against the Asian community. And it's really unfortunate, man, that we even have to have conversations, questioning if there will ever be unity.
Yeah. And something you've said in the past is, we're a quote unquote minority as Blacks, Asian, Latino, people of color, but with unity, ain't nobody minority.
Nobody. Because we will all realize that we can come up and be one together, It would be so much easier, and people of all races included in that, Here in this country is so many different types of people, and we all have that same mind to be here for whatever reason, whether it's to escape another country or whether it's to come here and work, or whether we feel like we were taken from our countries long ago and we here being raised, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If we all could just come together and see that as part of the human race, we could at the very least respect each other, things would be so much more better, and it begins in here. It begins with how you alluded to, how people are raised and things like that. So basically we all have the power to make these changes now.
Yeah.
We can get unity, and it starts from us building that within ourselves, and then out to our daughters, out to our sons, because then we all gonna take our messages into our community.
Yeah.
You know, and whether that message is to break up the unity between people, or is that message gonna be to create unity among people? So it's very important. So this has been
Breakfast with the Bullocks. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and yeah, let us know what you're thinking about all this. We had some juicy nuggets in there. So
Yeah. Parasites in 3, 2, 1. Alright, you ready, girl?
yeah.
Come on. Oh, it's still going.
Yeah.
Oh.
No more hesitation.